It's a story that has haunted the nation for over 2 decades. A young woman vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a tangled web of clues and unanswered questions. Her name is Maura Murray, and her disappearance remains one of the most baffling, unsolved mysteries in recent American history. Maura's story is not just a true crime mystery. It's a story about a life interrupted, a family shattered by loss, and the enduring power of hope in the face of the unknown. Even after all these years, her disappearance continues to captivate the public imagination, inspiring countless articles, podcasts, and amateur investigations. The mystery of what happened to Maura Murray is a chilling reminder that even in the digital age, some secrets refuse to stay buried. It is a story that speaks to our deepest fears, our fascination with the unknown, and our unwavering desire to find answers where they seem impossible to find. In the days leading up to her disappearance, 21-year-old Maura Murray, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, seemed to be living a normal life. But beneath the surface, a series of puzzling events began to unfold. On February 7, 2004, just 2 days before she vanished, Maura was involved in a minor car accident in her father's car. While the accident itself seemed insignificant, it marked the beginning of a string of strange occurrences. The following day, Maura emailed her professors, falsely claiming a death in the family to explain her absence. She then made a series of phone calls, including one to a resort in Stowe, Vermont, and another inquiring about a condo rental in Bartlett, New Hampshire, a place she had visited with her family in the past. It was clear that Maura was planning a trip, but the purpose of this trip remained a mystery. Her actions were out of character, leaving her family and friends baffled and concerned. Why would Maura lie to her professors? Where was she going, and why the sudden need for secrecy? These questions would linger long after Maura's disappearance, adding further layers to an already perplexing case. On the evening of February 9, 2004, Maura packed her car and left her dorm room at UMass Amherst, seemingly headed for the unknown. She drove north into the snowy, desolate back roads of Haverhill, New Hampshire, where her car would be discovered hours later, abandoned and shrouded in mystery. At approximately 7:27 p.m., a passing motorist reported a single-car accident on Route 112, a winding road known as Wild Ammonoosuc Road. The car, a dark-colored Toyota Corolla registered to Maura's father, had veered off the road and collided with a snowbank. A school bus driver named Butch Atwood stopped to offer assistance. He saw Maura inside the car, seemingly unharmed but visibly shaken. Maura assured Atwood that she had called for help and declined his offer to contact the police, stating that she had already called AAA. Believing the situation to be under control, Atwood continued on his route. However, when police arrived at the scene just minutes later, they found the car empty. Maura Murray was gone. There was no sign of a struggle, no footprints in the snow, and no indication of where she might have gone. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. The disappearance of Maura Murray sent shockwaves through the small town of Haverhill and beyond. As investigators began piecing together the events leading up to her disappearance, they were met with more questions than answers. A search of Maura's abandoned car revealed a number of personal belongings, including clothing, toiletries, and textbooks. Strangely, police also found a printed email confirmation for a condo rental in Bartlett, New Hampshire, the same location Maura had inquired about by phone just days earlier. This discovery only deepened the mystery surrounding Maura's planned destination and the reason for her sudden trip. Despite extensive searches of the area surrounding the crash site, involving helicopters, tracking dogs, and hundreds of volunteers, no trace of Maura was found. The initial investigation, hampered by delays and what some perceive as missteps, failed to yield any significant breakthroughs. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the case grew colder, leaving Maura's family and friends clinging to hope while grappling with the agonizing possibility that they might never know what happened to their beloved daughter and friend. In the absence of concrete evidence, a swirling vortex of theories and speculation has come to surround the disappearance of Maura Murray. From plausible explanations to more far-fetched scenarios, the case has become fertile ground for armchair detectives and true crime enthusiasts alike. One of the most enduring theories is that Maura chose to disappear voluntarily. Proponents of this theory point to her recent car accident, her email to professors about a fabricated family death, and her seemingly planned trip to an unknown destination as evidence that she was intentionally running from something or someone. Another theory suggests that Maura may have become lost or disoriented after the accident and succumbed to the elements in the harsh winter conditions. The wooded area surrounding the crash site is vast and unforgiving, making it possible that her remains have simply not been found. Of course, the possibility of foul play cannot be ruled out. Some believe that Maura may have been the victim of a random act of violence, or that she encountered someone at the crash site who took advantage of her vulnerable state. The lack of evidence supporting this theory, however, makes it difficult to investigate further. For over 2 decades, Maura Murray's family has been living a nightmare. The pain of her disappearance is a wound that refuses to heal, compounded by the lack of answers and the constant uncertainty surrounding her fate. Despite the years that have passed, Maura's family, particularly her father, Fred Murray, and her sister, Julie Murray, have remained tireless advocates for her case. They have organized vigils, fundraisers, and media appearances, determined to keep Maura's story in the public eye and to ensure that she is not forgotten. The Murrays have been critical of the initial police investigation, alleging missteps and a lack of urgency that may have hindered the search for their daughter. They have also been vocal in their belief that Maura was the victim of foul play, pointing to inconsistencies in the evidence and what they believe to be a lack of thoroughness in exploring all possible leads. Despite the passage of time, hope flickers on for the family and friends of Maura Murray. In recent years, there have been a number of developments in the case, breathing new life into the search for answers and reminding the world that Maura's disappearance is far from a cold case. In 2024, the FBI released an age-progressed image of Maura, providing a glimpse of what she might look like today. The image, widely circulated on social media and in news reports, generated renewed interest in the case and resulted in a surge of tips from the public. That same year, a rusty knife was found near the crash site, prompting speculation about its possible connection to Maura's disappearance. While the knife has not been definitively linked to the case, it serves as a chilling reminder of the unanswered questions that remain. The Murray family, particularly Maura's sister Julie, has been instrumental in harnessing the power of social media to keep Maura's story alive. Through dedicated Facebook groups, Twitter hashtags, and TikTok videos, they have managed to engage a new generation in the search for Maura, proving that even in the digital age, the power of collective action and the desire for justice can transcend time and distance. The enduring fascination with the disappearance of Maura Murray is a testament to the power of unanswered questions. Her story, shrouded in mystery and ripe with speculation, has captivated the public imagination for over 2 decades, becoming a fixture in true crime forums, podcasts, and late-night discussions. Several factors contribute to the enduring interest in Maura's case. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are undeniably intriguing. A young woman vanishes without a trace, leaving behind a trail of puzzling clues and baffling inconsistencies. The lack of a definitive answer, no body, no crime scene, only fuels the fire of speculation, inviting amateur sleuths and armchair detectives to try their hand at unraveling the mystery. Maura's story also resonates on a deeper, more human level. She was a young woman with her whole life ahead of her, her dreams and aspirations cut short by an unknown fate. The image of her smiling face on missing person posters serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the indiscriminate nature of tragedy. We see ourselves, our daughters, our sisters, our friends in Maura, and we are left to grapple with the unsettling possibility that what happened to her could happen to anyone. Even after all these years, there is still hope that the mystery of Maura Murray's disappearance can be solved. The smallest detail, the seemingly insignificant piece of information, could be the key to unlocking the truth and bringing closure to her family and loved ones. If you have any information, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, about the disappearance of Maura Murray, please come forward. You can contact the New Hampshire State Police, the FBI, or the Murray family directly. Your tip, however insignificant it may seem, could be the missing piece of the puzzle. You can also help by keeping Maura's story alive. Share her missing person poster on social media, talk about the case with friends and family, and support the ongoing efforts to find answers. The power of collective awareness and the unwavering pursuit of justice should never be underestimated. Maura Murray deserves justice, and her family deserves answers. Let's work together to ensure that her story is never forgotten, and that the truth, no matter how difficult, eventually comes to light.